I'm lecturer at the education of University in Weimar. You see my team at the sheets, and I will guide you with 4 points. So we'll start with the introduction, my research question. I will show you 2 of them. And I will bring you in the discourse on justice and switch into the education system. The next step will be I've got 3 regulations I've shown, and I will analyze the discourse of these 3 regulations, what they say about junction, justice and school. And these were the 3 first one in Württemberg, so it's really important. And I hope we will get to the resume. Let's start. These are the research questions, and I will try to put you in the field. In modern society, educating the poor and minority is deemed a collection concern that falls under the domain of bureaucratic administration under the rule of the national state. So we will get in the earliest in Württemberg a bureaucratic state and nationality. So the Duke began to interest in schooling pupils. So this is the first step. This is the fundamental attitude towards the independence of the state and individual education, this modern perspective on the genesis of the modern society. It will be Württemberg as a modern state coupled with the implementation of a public school system. This is a new aspect, I think, and we will build this up really in the 19th century at last. The discussion on the establishing inter-subject justice was linked to the demand for general human rights to develop. So this was the connection and the modern perspective. The primary instrument for institutionalizing a structured school system was the great church and school regulation. And the question is how public school was developed with these regulations. And I think the option is there is a regulation and it goes ahead with structuring the school system. But there's more than only a regulation. Which discourse in justice in the context of the tension between school power and subject was established in Württemberg. This is only not to implementate regulation, it's more, it's get connected to the discipline or to regulate bodies from the pupils. So this is my thesis. So the next step is the question: is the discourse of the social justice? I will show you like this. With the advent of humanistic ideas, reference was made to select concepts of justice which were drawn from antiquity. You can see it on the left side. Aristotle, Cicero was the point of starting. And the discussion influenced by Aristotle primarily leads to individual characters and to pursuit of happiness becoming supreme virtues. So the question is, what is the definition of the justice? And I think you see it on the left side, one should treat others as one would like others to treat oneself. So this is a point of view that will become important and called as the golden rule. In the Middle Age, the term increasingly underwent a shift in meaning. There is a step and turning around. It was the common good which came into focus when reflecting on the organization of human existence. The objective, the perfect, the self by focusing on fellow human beings allowed justice to become the agent and guarantor to ensure the stability of the secular community. This would be part of the community, and this is important for schooling after this. In this process, the semantics of justice change into steps. I think that you see these two steps, the definition in Antiquity and Middle Age. This golden rules going back to a natural law. Aristotle is at the left side, and in the Middle Age, it's based on the 10 commandments and the New Testament. So the religion position was getting into this position of definition of justice. So it will be connected together, and we have got an ethic of outperforming and the possibility to strong up the pupils, like the perfectibility. There were two steps according to which the rules differentiated. The term experienced another important change in the Hegelic sense of justice. It was the perfectibility. This is an idea of Rousseau in the 18th century, but I think it's become important in the 16th century. We'll show you at the discourse at the next step. So let's go further on. These are the three regulations. You see the first one, it's 1559. The next is 1687, and the last one, it's renewed. So you can see it's only the basic is the same, but there will be become a little bit more regulations revised in this part. So let's go and look inside the regulations. Using the great church and school regulation, Protestant territorial law due Christoph, and you see in the first slide, could postulate a kind of collection of laws for the Reformed Württemberg in his rule as a Christian and a secular authority. Sebastian Hornold, Venius and Benz were the three authors most responsibility for formulating the Duke's order, compiling with the new reform-orientated social order. This was connected to the school of law. In conjunction with this characterizes the dual regulations, requirements and recommendations were linked to compulsory education. This is one point. With these rules, I call it Deutsche Schule in German, but it's called elementary school, was established in Württemberg with an educational system and entranced as a total institution. All pupils had to go to school. So this is the first time. And over the course of the text, the social rules of pupils, the schoolmasters and the inspectors were defined as a cultural model for the lower school and their subject-specific organization. They were definitely put into their rules. The starting point for school-specific selection was the social economic status of the families. In addition to the external differentiation according to 3 types of schools. This inner categorizations was carried out of according to the sex. That was to optimize the training of the body. This is a discourse was connected from school to justice. This is the connection. And it was written in the regulation. The order of the day was to teach boys alone and also daughters set apart. This was written in regulation. They have to go to school and they have to set apart in the school. So this is the sex was referred to as set apart, was making the communication and the interaction between the learners was obsolete. They can't communicate with each other. This is what the discourse of school says. They conducted a difference between girls and boys, schoolmasters, and also the pastors who is visiting the school in the 1960s. So this is the first one. The next is in the middle. The discourse analysis of the, I call it commissariat. This is a collection of relevant rules and regulation which can be traced back to Johann Valentin André. This is the author. He was considered the precursor of Pietism and Enlightenment, so providing an update of the great church and school regulation. They're based on another. There are 2 steps. And according to the church leadership, these had to be replaced as a result of the disparate political, social and religious situation because of the 13-year war. The Nuremberg was destroyed during this war, so we have to build up, or they have to build up the school system, and this was the instrument for this. So what's written in? The new concept for a German school was based on the question of participatory justice, formulated by André, while the temporary attendance at school had been previously grounded on the independence of the parental home, the tutor state, and on the other hand, intervened in the personality and the freedom rights of the family. So this was new to restructure the public system of school, becoming to the sort of type of school, and increasing restriction of means. Increasing was important. And the school became the total instrument. They have to go to school. The thematic sequence of paraphrasing exposes the discourse which assign collection of and school reform to a justice of paradigm. And the considers and faces the demand for the public school to become the sole type of school, only this school, not private school. Only this type of school should be implemented in Württemberg. This was the new aspect at this regulation. The negative initial hypothesis is that the good order to preserve the social and religious requirements is not longer met. And that's the point in this regulation. So, and the last one, the discourse analyzes the great church regulation, the renewed one. The renewed school rules for German school, excluding the newly added special instruction, became a broad tradition. It was enacted in 1729 and revisited in 1782 and provided a print from the first one, which was extended to include rules for the good behavior of the children. This was new, this was added. These rules were added to the old one. And the rules for schoolmaster. And the schoolmaster was limited to the exchange of cultural techniques based on religious context. Only this they have to do in their lessons. With the school regulation of 1729, the lower school in Württemberg increasingly came under the influence of Pietism, and which explains the reference back to the first one, which extended for over more than 200 years. And the question is, what is between? What's happened and how has the school developed in this 200 years of going on? The text is ended with the foreword by Judith Ulrich. It's a new code of the regulation comprising 25 points for school children and special instruction for German schoolmasters. The linguistic intention is clear in the motto of the teachers. Schools are the front yard of sainthood. This was written. And what's the resume? I think I've got a bit more time, 5 minutes, okay? Let's have a look at the resume. The starting point of school-specific specification constitute difference. Suppose the first school regulation says you have to set apart the bodies in different of the sex. And to get into the school, for the German school or Deutsche school, the socioeconomic status was important. The next point, the grade school regulation represent fundamental law based on the implemented school as a total institution. Why a total institution? Because compulsory education was split in the school system, so all pupils have to get to school. And the last one is the free school regulations across are in perspective the tendency to self-discipline of the body and the alienation of schoolmaster. This was a very important aspect. With the Pietism, there is a tendency to the pupils, they have to self-discipline. You have to make clear why you can go to school. Make clear in front of the school and to get in. And, this was one that my opinion is new in this free relation, and it's, I think, analyzed at this 3 months. Okay, thank you, that's it.